Okay, everybody, we made it. We made it through this freaking week, this quarter. This freak show is out of control, people. And let me just show you something real quick. I wrote this earlier. It's falling apart. I have a bunch of things I want to talk to you about here today. So yes, post-market wrap-up on this Friday, September 30th, 2022. You know, this entire thing is exhausting. It's just too much. It really is. With the lies, the distractions, the deceptions, the propaganda, we have a lot to cover here. I hope I get to all of this here. You know, yes, the market took a hit today. 10-year yield creeping higher, dollar relatively flat. That sets the stage here. But let us move forward, because some of this stuff really does seem like science fiction. Again, what is the narrative? Our economy is strong. We're doing great. We're adding jobs. Meanwhile, what did they just tell us a couple of days ago? Economy continues to shrink. Not just a phenomenon here in the United States, people. The global economy is crashing, okay? Maybe not the markets yet, but, you know, we're looking pretty ugly. But the global economy is crashing with no end in sight as central banks can continue to do what they're doing. And that is leading the world into an economic free fall. And soon, a total meltdown of the global financial system. Now let's talk a little bit again. The bad economic news does not stop. Okay. Now, we found this out. So the Chicago PMI, the Chicago PMI determines the strength of the manufacturing sector. Well, guess what? By some unexpected event, it's in free fall. Now if you've been following this blog, I've told you for I don't know how long now that the U.S. manufacturing sector would continue to crater. I think I nailed that one to the wall. And let me let you in on another little piece of information. It's not going to stop, okay? Being that the economy here is contracting, the global economy is contracting. You got more and more major corporations talking about layoffs coming. Some have already started this, okay? It's not getting any better. It's not getting better. So just, again, prepare yourselves for what's coming. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and every other freaking way you can think about. So manufacturing cratering, imagine my shock. Now, I want you to listen to this. So the vice chair of the Federal Reserve, you know, what's her name? Brainerd. She's another creature from I don't know where. This is what she said. This was a statement. The Federal Reserve will not pull back from rate hikes prematurely because they are concerned and they are combating inflation. Meanwhile, what did we find out this morning? Well, by the Federal, this is laughable. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge shows that inflation is accelerating. It's accelerating. It's getting worse. Oh, who would have imagined? How about you? How about me? Because that's all we've been talking about is this thing here, this lie that continues to be propagated, even right out of the mouth, imagine my shock, of the Federal Reserve Vice Chair, Lael Brainerd. Oh, the Fed's not going to stop. We're going to continue to raise rates. But what she's not going to tell you, people, look, what she's not going to tell you, what no central banker is going to tell you, is what I've been screaming from rooftops about. This is a currency issue. It's not a rate issue. The currency around the world, the U.S. dollar, is in free fall. Across the entire Eurozone, I mean, this is a phenomenon that is sweeping the globe as central banks suck the purchasing power out of their currency, henceforth why you're seeing inflation. But you're not allowed to know that, people. Look, how do I say this another way? Unless central banks, and they won't, okay, I'm just throwing this out here as a hypothetical, stop their currencies from free falling, that is losing purchasing power, They can raise rates from here to the moon and beyond. It's not going to matter. Inflation is going to continue to surge higher. Now, look, all of this is a mechanism, again, to pressure the middle class, to make more people dependent on the system. Now, this is something that's very sad here. More Americans today are living paycheck to paycheck than ever before in history. This is a mechanism, people, that you and I have covered for years. Years, and I mean years. I've been explaining to you that this phenomenon is going to play out here as they continue to destroy the economy, wipe out an entire class of people. It's not going to stop. Now, on the back of that, mortgage rates hit their highest level since the last meltdown. Imagine my shock here. And it's just not going to stop, people. It's just not going to freaking stop. But the lies and the propaganda and the distractions and the deceptions are going to get larger and bigger. But I think I talk to everybody and I read the comments. People write to me by the hundreds every day, if not bigger than that. Okay. People are hurting. People are suffering. So they're starting maybe to say, hold on a second. Something is wrong. Something is very, very wrong. People, look at the mechanisms in place right now, funding a war with no end in sight here. Did you vote for that? No, you have no say-so. Again, you must back any crisis that comes along financially with your pocketbook. And where do we get the cash from? Because we don't have it. We have to borrow it from the Federal Reserve, from the central bank, which is a private entity, people. It has nothing to do with the government. Imagine, again, what we've allowed to happen. We continue, you and me. I don't know, look, at least we're trying to do something about it by raising awareness. We have given the keys to the kingdom, to the entire world, to private entities who are now perverting the financial and economic system beyond anyone's wildest dreams. Excuse me. Anyway, like I said this morning, people, not only are we in a currency crisis, which is the root cause of global inflation, but no, it's the rates. It's the rates are too low. So central banks have to raise the overnight rate, which is going to cause this trickle-up effect, cause rates to rise here, and that's going to fix inflation. That's going to make everything fantastic. All it's doing is crushing the economy and crushing people who can't make ends meet. They're borrowing beyond their eyeballs. Consumer debt, household debt, personal debt continues to surge. The savings rate is in the negative. And we have to listen to politicians and central bankers tell us that what we're seeing is not real, that everything is fantastic, that everything couldn't possibly be better, really, honestly? People, I don't know, really, anymore. It's totally and completely out of control. It's so sick. Oh, yeah, here's another thing, another piece of information. So not only are more Americans today living from paycheck to paycheck than ever before, but they're trying to sell us, this is today, consumer sentiment surges to a 5-month high. Really? Do you believe that? Does one cell in your body believe that? How about a fraction of a cell? No. No one buys this. Consumer sentiment, people are getting crushed to death. And I mean literally to death. And they have no idea what's coming down the pike. Anyway, people, look, with that, let us move forward. Cryptocurrencies did okay. Caught a little bid today. Bitcoin is around 19.5. Gold put on a fractional gain. Silver put on a little bit of a gain. Crude oil under some pressure today. This stock market, look, interesting phenomenon here. We have the 10-year yield now rising again, despite what the Bank of England just did. Okay, so we're kind of back in the same situation we were in just a few weeks ago, where I had said, if central banks don't take action, it's just over. And I'm not talking about just the stinking dog shit, tightly wrapped in cat shit, sprinkled with bird shit, stock market. No, I'm talking about this entire thing here. The global economy is already in free fall, but we haven't seen anything yet. Central banks are not done destroying the economy. Central banks are determined to bring about a meltdown of the financial system a bursting of the monster debt bubble, which is going to, again, people, wipe out tens of millions of people. Forget about supply chain disruptions. We're talking about once this debt bubble bursts here, okay, everything stops. Transactions end. Credit freeze. Money don't work. You understand? It just stops. Basic resources to live will not become available. They're going to allow pandemonium to unfold in the streets, and people are going to be at each other's throats. They're going to institute some type of martial law control. Okay, once they gain that control, again, they're going to institute a new system. A system of their choosing. More control with a lot less people on it. On this freaking planet. And I think you are well aware of it. This is, like I've been telling you, there is no greater threat to human life anywhere. You can't find one that is greater than this debt hyper bubble. When it bursts, it's literally over on a biblical level. And it should make sense to you how this is. It's all being set up this way. Look around you. Again, the lies, the distractions, the deceptions, all the stories, all the fakery, the fake news, the propaganda, the data that doesn't make any sense here. Oh, yeah, we're doing fantastic. Meanwhile, our economy is shrinking faster at its fastest pace ever globally. People can't make ends meet, and we're doing fantastic here. Really? More people dependent on the system than ever before in history, and we got to listen to politicians again and central bankers that they're telling us the truth. Really? You feel like these people have your best interest in mind, honestly? Expanding wars, funding wars, this disease process, that disease process, controlling people's minds, forcing them to do things they would never dream of doing. Really? It sounds great to you? Well, you haven't seen a damn thing yet, and I'm promising you that. And it's getting worse. I've been telling you this for years. Have I been wrong? I don't think so. I think I've nailed it to the wall. Anyway, people, look, it is Friday. You're not going to see me until Sunday. For my markets, lovely. It'll be lovely, I promise you. Markets to look ahead. I'll try to keep it together. I have been getting excessively emotional here lately, okay? This stuff here really gets under my skin. It really does. And the lies that continue to be propagated through the television, you know, the programming device that twists your mind into every which way it shouldn't be going in. It's just, it really gets to me. People have no idea what's going on. They really, honestly, they're being told, and I think many people believe it, that central banks, again, are doing what they're doing because they're trying to save the world economy, because they're trying to stop surging inflation. Nothing could be further from the truth. And they're not telling people what the root cause of the problem is. It's the free fall in the purchasing power of the currency. It has nothing to do with rates. But that's the lie. And they're going to continue pushing it as hard as they possibly can, because the more they tell that lie and the bigger it is, the more people are going to believe it. All right, look, you know the story. You'll see me on Sunday for my markets to look ahead. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. With that said, people, bring it in. Okay, we're going to do what we do every Friday, and I really want you to do this with me, okay? If you've never done it before, it's time to do it, all right? Bring it in. I'll wait. Love each other. Care about each other. Be charitable. We need each other, people. I've been telling you for the longest time, we got to come together. They're trying to divide us by every means they can think about here. And if we allow that to happen, we really do lose. We're losing. We're already losing. And it's very hard to overpower the mainstream propaganda, the lying politicians, the central bankers who, I mean, it's just, you know, are in control of the world. But if we can just make a fraction of a difference, a tiny bit of difference, and maybe wake up a few people, you know what, then we've done our job. All right, look, like I said, I'll see you Sunday. Have a great weekend, at least until Sunday, and take care of yourselves.